leader development at all levels in our Army is, I think, is the most important thing. And there's I think selection is certainly involved with that. I think it's deciding really who you want to promote into positions of additional leadership responsibility, and it's also eliminating ineffective leaders. I think we have to we have to take it on as our top task to develop leaders, but recognize there are some people who aren't going to get it, who aren't going to be effective, and you owe it to your soldiers to move those leaders out, and find maybe a niche for them in a different place where they can make a contribution, consistent with their their aptitude and their knowledge, skills, abilities, competencies. But we can't allow, I think, leaders who don't have the experience, the knowledge, really the ability and aptitude to lead soldiers in combat. Education has to be broad. Education is what allows our officers to be effective on a number of levels. How do you prepare a unit psychologically, ethically, morally for combat? If you don't know who Aristotle, Kant, is, you may not be able to do that effectively. If you don't understand, the sort of, you have to inculcate in soldiers the need to treat man as an ends, okay, a Kantian sort of view, which is really very consistent with Aristotle for that matter, our Army values, especially the value of respect, okay, then you really may not understand, how to communicate to soldiers the importance of treating populations respectfully, adhering to, the UCMJ and the law of war, which are only laws, right? And laws are only effective as long as they're enforced, okay? But we need deeper inculcation of values and virtue, right, in our force. And so if you don't have a background in philosophy or history, you might not be able to make that connection. I think what we need, as much as any other sort of quality in our officer corps, is the need to think critically about situations, right? That comes in large measure, I think, from academic backgrounds, right? The most important thing is ask the right question. Okay, if you can ask the right question, right, then you're sort of going in the right direction. It's the saying, from Alice in Wonderland, if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. Oftentimes we can confuse activity with progress if we're not thinking critically about what we're doing. So you need officers who can think really about those first order questions, how they relate to what we're doing, who can kind of frame problems from the outside, look at it critically, and those officers have to be able to thrive in our Army, and we have to encourage that kind of thinking, and we have to be able to tolerate a certain degree of irreverence but respectful questioning of what we're doing. The other thing is to connect what we do personnel management-wise to leader development, right? There really is no such thing as self-development, right? It's always guided by somebody, right? Somebody who you respect, a mentor, a professor, a commander is going to say, hey, here's what I think you ought to read, or, and really what allows you to develop is to interact with other human beings about what you're thinking about, reading about, writing about. And so if we could combine our ability to understand what talents, what skills, knowledge, abilities, competencies we have for individuals in our force, with also a way to collaborate, with that particular officer in the area of leader development, right? I think that would be very powerful. Specialized skills are important, right? Because it's our trade. If you don't know how to conduct combined arms operations, how to integrate all arms into the fight, right? How to conduct fire and maneuver, how to ensure mutual support between organizations in a fight, how to coordinate, for joint capabilities, conduct air-ground operations effectively. If you don't know that, we're in trouble, right? But also you have to place that really detailed, specialized, knowledge in a broader context. And so, we used to call this kind of the pentathlete thing. Well, it's really tough to be a pentathlete, right? So maybe not everybody can do that. But if you combine people, right, with the right sort of skills, knowledge, ability, competencies, they can collaborate together. They can all bring a certain degree of expertise, aptitude, ability to the team, and that team will be adaptive. And you see this in a lot of the literature, crowdsourcing, excuse me, the wisdom of crowds and so forth, but this is really purposeful building of not a crowd, right, but a cohesive organization, that has the right mix of knowledge, skills, abilities, competencies.